Have you ever wanted to hike a secret trail carved inside a cliff by smugglers? This is a 2-day loop trail that will take you to Italy via just such a secret trail. You'll be staying the night over 2,200 meters elevation in the Italian altitude hut named Sesvanna. They're open from June 17th through the end of October. The trail starts in Sur-1, right by the campground by the charming little bridge that has a wooden roof. We had a rental car and parked to the right before the bridge where there is a designated free parking. You'll be hiking southeast, always following the river. At first, the trail is nothing special. In fact, it was slightly annoying with all the mountain bikers. You're gradually gaining elevation, leaving the river for some higher pastures, and finally, you're rewarded by seeing the Smuggler's Trail way up there, high up on the cliff. There's several trails like this one, but what they have in common is that they cross a virtually impassable, steep and dangerous mountain. Typically, coffee was transported to Italy and butter was returned to Switzerland. The smugglers carried 60-pound burlap backpacks and kept a knife close at hand to cut their shoulder straps and drop their load down the cliff in case they were met by officials. They also wrapped their shoes in cloth to silence their steps and be extra stealthy. At some spots, the trail passes through some roughly hewn tunnels. The whole passage is about 600 meters long, which is a little shy of a half a mile. My hubby and I did this hike with my brother because it had been on his bucket list for like 10 years, and it did not disappoint. Eventually, you're above the gorge and you're really close to the Italian border. There were marmots everywhere whistling to their buddies while watching us and then disappearing. Then we came to this rickety fence that we concluded must be the border, so we had fun having a little passport control. Eventually, you see a house in the distance and you think you must be there, but it's like literally just 5 more minutes to the hut. And there it is, the Sesvanna Hut. It was absolutely packed with people from all over, so much so that they had to break up dinner into a couple of waves. But we had a semi-private bedroom, great view, and we did our own thing for breakfast. From the hut the next morning, you're going to change direction and head southwest. You still have a serious climb, going past a couple of small lakes before you get to the top of the pass at over 2,800 meters elevation. We had a picnic just on the backside with some goats that kept us good company. They were watching closely for any dropped crumbs. Super enjoyable and beautiful descent with a stream next to us, grassy meadows with outcroppings of rocks, and then a steep cascade of scree to your right. Eventually, you hike a little bit in the forest, and then you arrive in the village of S-charl. At this point, we cheated and we took the bus to the village of Scuol because we didn't think that part of the hike was the most scenic and we wanted to have plenty of time to visit Scuol. My family had spent 1 week of vacation in that village when I was 2 years old, so it was fun to revisit. This town is famous for its spas and mineral springs. There's a fountain in the village with 2 spouts. The one on the right is what I would call regular water, but the one on the left is naturally carbonated. You can taste it. It tastes like minerals, and you can see how they stain that compartment of the fountain. We were incredibly lucky because just when we arrived there, some Alp horns were setting up and starting to play to welcome a little parade of old-time trade and transport reenactment. There were ponies, donkeys, mules, and horses, and they were all so cute. Then we hopped on the bus, went to the village next door of Sur-1, where we had left our car next to the bridge, and we had fun exploring the villages in this region called Engadin. The houses are really charming. There's a beautiful technique in this area called graffiti. It combines the technique of painting and carving for a really beautiful look. Next, we really wanted to visit the village of Guarda. The Swiss children's author Selina Schoens wrote a book in 1945 that takes place in this village. In 2015, they made a movie out of it called A Belle for Ursli. It's honestly one of my top favorites, so it was really fun to see different houses and parts of the village that were portrayed in the book and filmed in the movie. Finally, we went to the village of Ardez and literally just asked around for a place to stay the night. We found a couple who had a little apartment upstairs from a historic barn. The furniture was all actual antiques from the family. We love old stuff, so we were literally in heaven. We strolled around the village and finally we saw the chickens going to bed and decided it was time to retire ourselves. I hope you enjoyed this video that takes you through a unique area of Switzerland far off the beaten path. Thanks for watching. I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed to my channel and check out all the videos I have created to share amazing through hikes in the Alps. Cheers and à bientôt!